Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today, well, I bring something big, and in fact the biggest part of the Airbus A320 family, the Airbus A321. So, the latest project being done by Canadian Mods, by Wasabi Snipe, by Theo in the chats, and yeah, should be a fun one today. So, flying in classic FSX colours, flying with Orbit Airlines today. And let me tell you, I am very excited to be, well, showcasing this add-on today. So, as I always do with the Canadian Mods releases, it's like a testing trial demo flight. So, fly it from A to B, test it out, make sure it's working, all that kind of stuff. And if it all goes to plan, then a download link will be released in the chats. If it doesn't work, then back to the drawing board. So, it's not out yet. We did do a test flight earlier, and it didn't go to plan, so this is an updated version with much better systems play. It should work a lot better today, at least that's the hope. So, A321 today, London Heathrow to Moscow. Should be a lot of fun, this. Right, first, jump in the cockpit, and let's get the aircraft ready to go. Starting with the battery. So battery's on, so power sets. Align the navs. Fuel pump stay off a couple moments longer to wait for the fuel truck to arrive. We will also turn on the cruise supply, arm the emergency lights, smoking automatic, strobes automatic, nav lights on. Set the temperatures up to about the midpoints for the aircraft. So, that's all set. Next, let's jump down to the main displays and let's set up brightness. So turn them up to, probably turn up to max today rather than going like a further way up. That way they're a bit clearer today, especially with the sun coming from behind us. You can see the shadows do cause a bit of glare on these displays, so something to get a bit more visibility. And then sort of PACX as well. So brightness all up, aircraft setting up. Here the alarms doing their own system self-checks as well. That's all fine, that's all fine, that's all fine. Give me a second. I've done the one. Perfect. Right, next we will, hang on to the brightness up here as well. Jump down to the FMS and let's start programming our flight. So initialization, we're departing from Echo Golf Lima Limo to a flight. It's Moscow, Sheremetyevo, so it's uniform, echo, echo. Plug that in, and return. Flight number today is Oscar Romeo 2579er. Our cost next today at 12. Cruising altitude, flight level 350. RS initialization, align on reference, and confirm. So, the A321 by Canadian Mods, so it's the external model of the FSX A321, so you can see it's got the Orbit Airlines liveries. Also comes in World's Travel, Pacifica, and the default white livery as well. And the cockpit is that of the default A320neo. So, in terms of inaccuracies, I guess, with the A321, is that it's missing one option on the overhead panel, and that's about it really. The cockpits between the A320neo series and the A321, the CEOs, very similar indeed. The other difference also being the split flaps. So the A321 has split flaps, as two flap panels go down, while the A320, 19 and 18s all have a single flap panel. Otherwise, again, it's all virtually the same aircraft. Oscar Romeo Bravo, ORB, is the call sign. OR, Oscar Romeo, is the flight number. Call signs and flight numbers are different. One's an IATA code, the other one's a call sign code. Right, so that's all aligning. Let's now start the passenger boarding process. So using TFDi design PACX as always. Departing from, there we go, perfect. So Heathrow to Moscow Sheremetyevo, Orbit Airlines 2579, 350 cruise, flight time 3 hours and 5 minutes. Time to take off will be approximately 18 minutes time to finish this. An A321 with 174 people on board. There's no Wi-Fi, no entertainment. Actually, I don't think there is Wi-Fi. There's no disc on the top of the roof there. It's just standard receiver, high frequency. Right, so no Wi-Fi, no entertainment, no boarding music, no safety briefing. Snacks and drinks you do get, Orbit Airlines. I always see these guys like the low-cost carrier of the Microsoft Flight Simulator world, so no service for meal there. And that's board. Fuel trucks arrived, thank you very much. We require 28,143 pounds of fuel, 28,143. So we'll put a bit of fuel in and then start filling from the centre. And, hang on, 28, there we go. And because, well, I'm paranoid, we'll carry a little bit excess fuel as well. We shouldn't need it, but a little bit excess fuel just in case we do require some excess. As you can see, we've gone out relatively high on the fuel tank there, 69% full, but should be alright with our flight today. Right, back to cockpit, let's program the rest of our flight up. Alright, this will be backup displays. There we go. Alright, let's go to performance, initialization, next page, 0 fuel weight, that will be 51.2. Center of gravity is 23.5. Block fuel on board is 14.58, so 14.6. Plug this in. Next page, that's all fine, Flight plan, we'll program shortly. Let's say hello to our passengers, shall we? Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard this Orbit Airlines flights 2579 from London Heathrow to Moscow Sheremetyevo. Flight time today is 3 hours and 5 minutes, and we're just in the final stage of preparing the aircraft boarding, and hopefully be departing in just a couple of minutes. Any questions, speak to cabin crew today. I'd like to hope you sit back, relax, enjoy flight of Orbit today. There we go. So that'll do a generic message to passengers. Let's program our routing, starting off with Bravo Papa Kilo. It's in. It's going to be one of those points we need to select the coordinates, so we'll be doing that. It'll be U. Next point, Dixu. Following Banem. And then we fly to Ledbo. Following Buckhots. That's in, insert flight plan. Scroll down. From Buckhots, we then fly to Gastu. And then it's Nonsa. Asden, Bilra, and Poken. Insert that. Scroll down to Poken. And following is Llama. Latme. Olmor, Okpan, Garrick, insert that, scroll down, and from Garrick we fly to Tignu. Could have done that from the Airways page. Okay, it'll work either way. Give it a few seconds to load. Right. Tignu. We fly to Lunitz. Following Amdor. And then Olmutz. Before reaching our final waypoints of the day, Mitsmu.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find
that's
your seat,
our
please
flight plan's
place
complete.
your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items
loads, of course.
underneath the seat in front of you.
There we go. Right,
Once you're in
insert
the front
that.
row, please place
That's
all
all
of your
good.
items in the overhead.
Now, there is ATC today at Heathrow. We have got active IVAO controller, so I'll be speaking to them on 118.705. Get up close to Moscow, and then see how things go from there. So, before we do that, let's get the METAR information.
Check that all your items are put away so that the aisle is clear and other passengers can make their way.
Current weather at Heathrow, so winds 250, 17 knots, visibility plus 10, no clouds reported, 11 degrees centigrade, 2.4, 1011. That's not too bad. Slightly strong head-stroke crosswind, so I do need to take that into account today for the part chart. But as long as we get ourselves into the air safely, that's the main thing that matters. So, 1011 with QNH. There is ATC, so they may give us an initial climb altitude, which we'll leave at 5,000 for now. Set the cruise climb to 2,500 feet per minute. And our speed, 250, low, 10,000. Come on, there we go. And the passenger process. There's yourself. Definitely an A321 seat map. You've got a few seats missing over the central overwing exits. So in fact, if I go to external, that exit there is what causes the small gap in the cabin. Whilst passengers are boarding, we're about halfway there now, I'd say, for boarding, which is always fine. Quick look through names, anyone we recognise, any Jared on board, always important to check. Oh, I like that. Beverly Hall, Beverly Ball. Got Chad on board. I think for the most part, passenger list is looking pretty standard. Yep, that's fine. Right, back in. ATC 118705. Almost there. Almost there we go. Right, wait for a gap. There's no one talking. Hello there, Heathrow Tower. This is Orbit 2579 requesting IFR clearance to Moscow Sheremetyevo.
Orbit 2579, Heathrow Tower, hello, stand by.
Okay, we'll stand by for a few seconds. They're going to check our flight plan and then we'll do the readback. While we wait here at Heathrow, there we go.
Orbit 2579, evacuate to Moscow on the Brookman's Park 7 Golf departure. Current date is information Charlie QNH 1011, squawk 5243.
Orbits 2579 is cleared by the Bravo Kilo 7 Golf departure. QNH 1011 squawking 5243.
Orbit 2579, a reback is correct, report ready for push.
Perfect, so I set you to Tara. We won't see to automatic just yet because it seems to be a bit trigger happy sometimes, the squawk there. So, 5243.
Heathrow Tower, good evening sir, speedbird 54 on ILS, runway 27 right.
As with Moscow,
Speedbird
we shall
54,
have a check in
Heathrow
a second.
Tower, runway 27 right, clear to land, surface wind
Right,
25017
so,
knots.
So it's 27...
Radar copied, clear to land 27 right, speedbird 54.
27 left departure if they're landing on the right. 7 Golf departure. Insert that. And also need to clear the waypoints. Charlie Hotel Tango, that takes us the wrong direction. Insert that. Quick check the flight plan, make sure it's all making sense. So step, step, step. And as far as I'm aware, that looks correct.
We're ready to go when you are.
Cabin is boarded, which is good to hear. We'll start the APU now, and then prepare the final stages of departure. So, performance, using flaps 1 for takeoff. Flex temp is 75. And our V speeds, 132 V1, 137 rotate, okay, 140 V2. Do just remember that with the A321, it's both a heavier aircraft and a bigger aircraft, and therefore as a result you need higher takeoff speeds, but in terms of acceleration it's not too bad. The 21, we are carrying the the Rolls-Royce engine options on this one. So you get you've got IAEs, you've got Rolls-Royce, you've got CFM, who made engine options for these aircrafts. And today I believe we carry the Rolls-Royces. And again, as I was saying before, the A2C, Orbit Airlines, out of all the default FSX aeroplanes, they were always my favourites of the default airlines. Especially in FS 2004, the original 737-400 gold and blue liveries. I just loved it. It was like a reverse Ryanair. You had blue on the top, yellow trim, white belly, but certainly some good memories of these old default aeroplanes. And if you guys want to get any updates with these projects, I'll get you the link. You can do so by checking out the Canadian Mods Discord server via this link here. They are looking for a 2K model texturer, so if you guys know how to make any textures for the sim, then feel free to make yourself known. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun, this. Right, as far as I'm aware, the aircraft is now prepared for departure. We'll request pushback in a second. Make sure that the flight director is set and sets. That's all set, that's all set. Initial, we'll leave it at 5,000, but again, they'll clear us higher actually if we need to. APU is available, so we'll start that. Whoops, what have I hit? Nothing important. I hate it when you do that. You move up and you're scrolling in FSX, and then it just, in Microsoft Flight Sim, sorry, and it just clicks on something, but you don't know what you've clicked. Right, AP bleed set. Give it a few seconds to power the systems. External power off. Make sure not done anything wrong. Nothing looks out of place at the very least. That's fine. Cool. All doors are secure. We'll put you onto engine page, and we'll prepare the aircraft now for push and starts. Orbit 2579 is ready for push and starts.
Orbit 2579 push and start is approved. Tail left facing the southeast. Report ready for taxi.
Push start approved. Tail left facing southeast of Orbit 2579. Facing the south. I actually need to push the aircraft to the right. Hang on, just switch at something. Orbit 2579, just confirming, is it 27 left or right for departure?
Departure runways 27 left.
27 left, Orbit 2579. Cool, so beacon lights set. Alert ground crews that we're ready for engine startup. Also make sure the seatbelt signs are turned on as well, can't forget that. Shift P, let's call the pushback tug. So at this point we're now waiting for the tug to apply pressure onto the nose. Oh yes, you do see an A321 Neil's Orbit Airlines colours, so you can guess where the models come from. But should be a lot of fun, this. I do plan to fly 787 at some points for sure, just in case of seeing how stable it is. The mod link will be provided on landing at Moscow. So this is like a testing demo flight. If all goes to plan, we release it. If it doesn't go to plan, then we do some more testing. We tried this earlier, and well, long story short, we continued with testing, so still some time to go. Right, engine ignition set, start 1. Facing south, we need to turn left, nose facing right. It's an interesting 327 left departure then. They're going to take us down a rather interesting route.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the front of the aircraft for a safety demonstration. When the seatbelt light is on, please make sure that your...
Yes, the AP stands for Auxiliary Power Unit. It's basically a small engine in the back of the aeroplane. There's also support at the rear there. And basically, it provides power to the aircraft systems when disconnected from the ground when the engines are switched off.
Please take a few moments to now locate one of the several emergency exits on this aircraft.
Speed of boost 54, welcome to Heathrow, vacate left, taxi stands 558 by
Steer to the left. Ah, Heathrow Tower is watching. Oh no, it's not Heathrow, that's one of the higher ups. Very nice. I don't like these little messages. Always fun to have. Right, engine 1 is stable. Engine 2 starts. Stop pushback here now. We'll tune back to Heathrow Tower as well, since we've done the pushback. Engine 2 is starting, there we go.
Please say again for speedboat 54. We located Alpha 10
Do a quick systems check before we continue further. Flight control.
Taxi stand 558.
Elevators are
Right
responsive.
on Alpha, left on Charlie.
Ailerons responsive.
10558 left, right.
Rudder
Alpha,
responsive.
left, Charlie, speedboat 54.
Speed brakes responsive. Perfect. So all flight controls check. Back to engines. Spoilers armed. We'll turn off the ignition in a second. Still waiting for engine 2 to start. Flaps down 1. Engines are set and stable. Ignition off.
All stations.
APU
Heathrow
off.
Tower closing in 5 minutes. Heathrow Tower closing in 5 minutes. Over.
5 minutes, that's plenty of time for us. Orbit 2579 is ready to taxi.
Orbit 2579, continue on Fox, turn left on Bravo, link 28, holding point November 1.
Continue down Fox onto Bravo, left onto Bravo, link 28 onto holding point November 1 for Orbit 2579. I'll check that. I'll start a taxi. One thing I want to check though. Yeah, that's not going to help us, is it? Oh, hang on, 27 right.
Orbit 2579, are you able to take holding point November 2 whiskey?
So I'll wait at the moment. 14, 540. Affirmative, November 2 whiskey, we should be able to do for you, no problem. No, Orbits 2579 up. Alright, it's going to...
Orbit 2579, in that case then continue on Bravo, right, link 29, hold November 2 whiskey. Sorry, November 2, yeah, sorry, November 2 whiskey.
Left on Bravo, link 29 and hold November 2 whiskey for Orbits 2579 up. Right, turn on the taxi lights as well. Get the aircraft on taxiway. Also the anti-ice, bring these systems on as well, because you know what the sim is like when it comes to aircraft freezing over. It's a bit excessive. Also, hopefully, Heathrow being one of the premium sceneries, might get the might get decent looking taxiways as well. Give it active names. So we need to go down Bravo, so take a left here.
Heathrow, hello, Lufthansa 4 Hotel, this is Charlie, request clearance to...
Do need to remember with the A321 that as it's a longer aeroplane, it's long distance between the nose wheel and the rear wheels, the turning circle in this a little bit longer, so do need to take that into account during taxi. But for the most part, it handles smooth enough. It does its job well.
Lufthansa 4 Hotel, you are cleared to cleared to Frankfurt as filed. Sorry, 1 second, sorry. Lufthansa 4 Hotel, sorry about that. You are cleared to Frankfurt as filed. Delta 2 Golf departure, white 27 left. Squawk 6332 QNH 1011.
Lufthansa 4 Hotel is cleared to Frankfurt.
So right now, so we depart from Terminal 3 at Heathrow. We've got the remains of Terminal 1 very shortly to our left.
Lufthansa 4 Hotel, Squawk
Also see a few of
6332.
the maintenance facilities to our left as well. Price, the A321 will be freeware. Hang on, what's the taxiway's name? I've got to miss that one. That's link 33. We need 29. So we're almost there.
054, thank you very much.
32
31
3029.
Station, come to destiny. Have a nice day too. Bye bye. See you next time. Speedboat 54.
Bye-bye.
Let's do a quick pre-takeoff checklist. So brake sets to max, cabin Check. Takeoff config.
All stations, Heathrow
Set.
Tower closing in 2 minutes.
Pre-takeoff checklist completes. And so, at this stage, we've got nothing else to do apart from land the runway, get our takeoff clearance, and then depart. I play on IVAO. I use IVAO for my flight simming multiplayer and ATC. Very good network. Their integration to Microsoft Flight Sim has been fantastic. So yeah, link to 9R, which is next one. I wouldn't say IVAO's strict. They try to give you a bit more leeway in regards to, for example, if a pilot's not super confident, they do give it a fair bit of leeway. And for Microsoft Flight Sim users who perhaps are missing stars or other flight system stuff, then they are quite good. They are quite good, IVAO. I've got a lot of respect for what they've done. Right, so we're going to hold short to the runway here.
Orbit 2579, you seem to have taken the wrong turn. Do you think you're able to depart from that intersection?
Ooh, I've gone one too short. Orbit 2579, yes, we should be able to depart from this intersection.
Okay, Roger, Orbit 2579, runway 27 left. You are clear for takeoff, surface winds 24016 knots.
Clear for takeoff, Orbit 2579er. Fortunately with the A321, the aircraft's more than powerful enough, we should get some quite quick acceleration. It's the slight crosswind we got to counter for today, but apart from that we should be fine. Cabin crew, please be seated for departure. Cabin crew, please be seated for departure. So mention that our transponders are set to automatic. So we are now squawking to ATC. Let's land the runway, throttle up 50%, and let's get going.
Orbit 2579 after departure, monitor Unicom on 122.8, have a flight.
50%, 12 stable, up to flex. 122.8 after departure, thank you very much. Orbit 2579 up.
All stations, Heathrow Tower is now closed. No
V1.
further ATC, please monitor Unicom on 122.8. Thank you for flying and have a good day.
Take care. So climb, gear up.
You too, bye-bye.
There we have it. Orbit Airlines is airborne. Once again in the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So, Terminal 5 now to our right. We now have to make a right-hand turn and follow the Papa Kilo departure now. Also back to climb, flaps up. And let's now bring it onto autopilot. So set the speed, set the heading. We'll increase our rate altitude now to 370, given that we're on Unicom. 35, sorry, there we go. And we'll do it to a rate of 5,500 feet per minute. So that's all set. After departure, tune Unicom. 1228. And there you have it. So far, so good. Aircraft's working rather fine. Fingers crossed we don't have the same systems issues we had last time with the A321. So this is an updated version, slightly upgraded, fixed things. and still compatible with the A321X. So the A321, if you have the A321X mod installed, is compatible with it. So you will be able to use your upgraded A320 cockpit with the 21 mod, which is a nice little extra bonus. It wasn't so much plans that way, but it was kind of something that just worked out in our favour. So following the departure route now, to our right, you see the route to the M25 snaking along, and so the A40 leaving out of London. Essentially spot a few airports as well in northwest London. Pass down to Heathrow, set. Very shortly, we'll be passing through 10,000, switching the landing lights off. If all goes to plan, it's been quite smooth so far, the weather for us. We'll be able to turn off the seatbelt sign quite early on as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may turn on larger portable electronic
1,000
devices.
feet? Not yet, actually.
This is also a reminder
9,700.
to keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration of the flight and do not form a line near the lavatory.
10,000, landing lights off. And retracted. Perfect. There it is, London town. Also increased speed now since we're above 10,000. Again, to bring the aircraft now onto kind of cruise config, at least as far as you can get with that in Microsoft Flight Sim, without having stuff like VNav available to you. It's a bit of manual work, a bit of manual love, but well worth it within the sim if you don't mind putting the effort in. Reduce climb to 2,000 feet per minute. There we go. So, there's Heathrow Airport. Not too far from us, we should be able to spot Northolt. There it is, there's Northolt. Might see Elstree to our left. Maybe not. Right behind these clouds. Elstree's known, well, Elstree's situated right by a lake, and the lake's actually quite good to spot with. Oh, and Denham. Denham should also be visible to us, although probably again someone behind the clouds out there-ish. Can spot Wembley Stadium. So far so good. Oh wow, I've actually got really, or very strong increased speed there. Pretty good with increasing our rate of climb. Not too many problems. So slow from Mach 0.70, and it's to about Mach 0.66 for now. Live weather? This is live weather. I'm not sure who we got 23 minutes from, because we don't land for another 2 hours and 54 minutes. Presuming, again, there are no system failures with the aircraft. There's no wing view, I'm afraid. That's one thing this aircraft does miss out on. So if I go to the showcase cameras, and go to the two wing views, you'll notice that the aircraft will appear for like a fraction of a second, and then just disappear. So it's not something that's yet working. But basically, how the camera, or how the wing views work in Microsoft Flight Sim, is that it's based off of the external model being visible from the internal. So, if I turn around and look behind us, you'll see there's no wings, no boxes for the wing views and all that, because the external model doesn't appear, and so it's just a case of seeing how can that be done, how can we merge it with the A320 cockpit, and then if all goes to plan, maybe in the future, get to work as well, for example, shadows as well. That's based on the external model, and not the internal model. Weather in Moscow, let's have a look. if I do a dot letter for uniform echo echo, it's currently so 1204 knots, plus 10 visibility, overcast at 900, 63 centigrade G.4, QNH 1022, and some rain in the forecast. So it's not looking too bad right now. It's dry. It's relatively calm winds. Visibility is alright below 900, but it might get a bit damp later on. So we'll keep an eye on that weather in case things do change. We'll turn off seatbelt sign now since the aircraft is nice and stable. There we go. Reduce rate climbs to 2000. Speed up to Mach 0.75.
However, we ask that you use your seatbelt fasten when needed in case of unexpected turbulence.
So this is based off of the A321 CEO, not the XLR, not the LR, not the F, not the hundreds of other variants the A321 has these days. Not the Neo either. And so, like I said, the XLR model is that of the default FSX model. That's why I've got Orbit Airlines today, because it's default liveries, and that means textures are available for it, so long you can put them into Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I'd like to say, if there's anybody who knows how to make 2K textures and are willing to put their hand up, then get in contact with Wassabi Sniper, and we'll definitely I'll try and work out to get some actual official liveries into the aircraft. So, same developer as the 747-400 and the CRJ from Saturday, now introducing the A321. Oh yeah, so it comes with, let's say, it comes with all of the originals. You got Orbit Airlines, Pacifica, and World Travel, as well as the default white livery. What do I often do when I cruise? If it's like a 6-hour plus long flight, I'll maybe I'll have a shower or something halfway through just to refresh myself up. If it's a flight like this, it's 3 hours. I'll, for the most part, sit here and talk to you guys. And then I might disappear every couple of minutes, kind of have like a quick break, a quick breather. But 9 times out of 10, I'll be sitting here flying. Live weather and live time are two different things, aviation. If I did it live time, it would be pitch black outside and everyone complains it's too dark, so daytime, live weather. So zoom out on the ND there a bit as well. Right, so you've now got the Thames Estuary. I will say, I mean, the A320 model, the A321 model from FSX, it was an A321. It was about as average you can get in terms of what modelling was like 15 odd years ago now. But I must say, even in the new sim, just the lighting and the shading and reflections, it really brings the model to life. Definitely gives it a bit of love, that's for sure. Engines are blurry because it's an old, it wasn't even 1080, I feel like a 720p texture that Microsoft Flight Simulator X used to do. So like I say, if anybody knows how to make 4K textures, sorry 2K textures, then do get some shouts. Definitely work a few things. Canadian mods team always looking to expand. Like, I've been looking for a new scenery developer as well. Potentially someone to work on that. There's now 2 pilots today. Doesn't quite look like anybody yet, you know. The CRJ, the captain, certainly was the spitting image of Captain Canada. On this occasion, they're just the average pilots. So far so good. Passing through 29,000 now. Well on our way to cruise. 122 knot tailwind through Germany. That's quite a bit of wind there, Robert. Yeah, the engines are blurry because it rotates faster than the speed of light. They are powerful engines, these. They are very powerful engines, these. When we saw Takeoff run at Heathrow, we started basically halfway up the runway. Departed without any problems whatsoever. Although not quite powerful enough to move the aircraft at idle, so the A319, both CEO and Neo, and the A320 and the A320, the Neo but not the CEO, the A319, A318, both CEO and Neo, the engines at idle still produce enough thrust to get the aircraft rolling, so on most smaller Airbus aircrafts, you taxi on idle. Apart from the A320, CEO, the A321 or anything bigger, then you use throttle for taxi, but everything smaller or using the Neo engines, they produce enough thrust at idle to basically get the aircraft taxiing. A lot of people with the latest A320 said that it was a bug or an issue with the aircraft, but they don't realise that's actually something Airbus aircraft can actually do. Because with Airbus, I mean, okay, it's an aeroplane, they are heavy, but for what they are lightweights with the high power output. It's enough to get the aircraft rolling, basically no effort whatsoever. The A321, it's bare bones, nice and easy, gets you going. Why did you choose Moscow? So Moscow from London is a medium haul route, not short haul, not long haul. And so being a medium haul route, it's kind of like a good length route to kind of try out the A320 over a long period, not being too long, to keep the airplane a good test run. You've downloaded the liveries, Ivan, but have you adjusted the config file as well to include the new livery line? Textures of Microsoft Flight Sim aren't drag and drop. You do need to adjust the config file as well to also include the actual texture file itself to load up in the sim. Right, we're very nearly at cruise. Yes, so the link for the aircraft will be available on touchdown in Russia. So again, we tried this a couple of days ago, or we tried yesterday, the A321. It didn't work to plan. Oops. It didn't quite work to plan. Again, that max was at 0.81, not 0.8 whatever. And so a few adjustments have been made, a few tweaks and all that. The fuel burn's been corrected now, which was the big problem before. The fuel burn's now correct, and we can now, well, hopefully, fly without any problems. Right now, we've left the United Kingdom, stay behind us. Next up, Belgium. Our route takes across over Belgium, across Germany, over the Baltic Sea to north of Poland, before crossing Lithuania and making our way into Russia. So, across the paths of 5 countries today. Might spot Finland and Sweden to the left, but they'll very much be kind of like on the horizon, far in the background kind of thing. Everything else should be nice and easy to us today. See the French coast just about right.
moments we'll be starting our in-flight service. We'll be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Please look in your seat back for a list of complimentary and premium
There you
drinks.
go, so passengers get
Premium
their
drinks are
free
available for
small
a
cup of
small
Coke
charge.
and
If you wish
pretzels.
to make an additional purchase, we only accept credit cards.
Only the luxuries for a low-cost carrier. So the A321, I believe, works with and without the A321X. So if you don't have the A321X installed, you should be able to still use this without any problems. So if the developer was on chat, I might try and fish him out. If he's on there, we'd be able to get some proper confirmation as well. But I believe it should work no problem with and without the A321X. X Games mods. What are you referring to, Ethan? I'm not too sure. I might just mute for spam at this rate. But so far, so good. Rat crews, passengers getting their snacks, aircraft's performing fine, and like I say, biggest thing, A321, Orbit Airlines colours, reborn. FlyLive Studio, how you doing? Watching on the chat. The thing with the A380 MAX is that it's a very complex aircraft to build, and therefore does take a lot of work to get right, systems-wise especially. Well, let's get time. No, flying a 3-hour flight today, flying it in 4. And yes, the 321 does bring back very good memories of FSX. It's back in the day, back when everyone was using this platform. From the last time Microsoft were king of flight sims. It's been a long time since FSX. 2006 it came out. 2012 republished for Steam Edition. The CRJ, I enjoyed the CRJ. It's a lot of fun to fly. While it may not be quite as advanced as the upcoming Aerosoft CRJ, which is coming out in December, which I do plan to pick up because, well, I do like the CRJ. It's a fantastic little aircraft. And so once Aerosoft's come out, then I'll definitely be flying that a bit. For now, time to bridge the gap. We'll be using the Canadian Mods CRJ. Joystick I'm using, so I'm using the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. I'm using the HOTAS Warthog stick and throttle for my sim. Decent little model, I mean, it looks alright. It's an A321, you can tell that. It's not perfect, so for example, if you look at the rudder, there's like a small gap in the very lower portion. So it's not the most... It's an A321. It sadly helps by the sim with the new reflections going on the side, with the lighting effects and all that. In the sim, it looks good. Certainly helps with it. And until one day we get maybe a high quality A321 mods, the FSX port certainly does the job. Do you reckon there'll be a A321 EasyJet livery? Absolutely. Once people start making textures for it, I don't think it'll be too long until someone makes an EasyJet for Microsoft Flight Sim. This is live gaming. This is live. In the cabin while we continue our cruise. See, whoops, that's what people are doing right now. So cabin crew are serving passengers right in the midpoint of the aircraft. 6% done, so everything all right. Everyone's seated at the moment, so no one's gone to the loo. So Gladys is eating and drinking. Kristen not hungry, not thirsty. Lynn is eating and drinking alcohol right now. That's good. Not thirsty, not hungry is Francis. Miguel is not hungry, not thirsty. Jacqueline is not hungry, not thirsty. So yeah, our passengers are eating, drinking, not doing too much. You got this person here, Denise, very hungry, thirsty. Presumably as soon as the car gets to them, they'll pick up a meal or a snack even. Ryanair don't operate any A321s, so probably not. Pilots don't get that kind of info in real life. PACX is it stands for Passenger and Crew Experience, I believe. I've forgotten now, actually. Passenger and Crew Experience, yes. So basically, the pilots will know the expected arrival, and that's about it. The only bit they'll know is that, and perhaps the seatbelt time as well. This is just cabin crew, this is just the extra fun thing to keep you occupied during your 3-hour cruise. And so, yeah, it's a nice add-on. I do like it, PACX. Very in-depth what it does. Gives you the ability to speak to your cabin as well with your microphone. It's a lot of fun, that. 747 and A380. Definitely 747. I'm definitely more of a 747 person. I've always been more Boeing than Airbus. How I've seen it: Boeing innovate, Airbus perfect. Boeing created the A380, 737. Whoops. Okay, it's contact answers down. 125. We'll go back to that in a second. The Airbus Boeing statement I was going to make. 125 750.
1 for depart. Start the cruise at Eindhoven for QNH 1012, runway 21 is in use. Drawyah 58 Hotel.
Hello, Amsterdam. This is Orbit 2579, currently at cruise 350.
Orbit 2579 Amsterdam, hello. You should call entering in Dutch airspace. Identify the level 350. Continuous flight.
I was saying, so Boeing innovates, Airbus perfects. So Boeing created 737, Airbus perfects the A320. Boeing created the 747, Airbus perfects the A380. Boeing creates the 767, Airbus perfects the A330. Boeing creates the 777, Airbus perfects the A350. Boeing creates 757, Airbus A321. So Boeing always get the aircraft first, Airbus follow along with a better product, I guess. And that's how it has always been. Because Airbus, they're playing catch-up, quote-unquote, but they've got the developments behind it to be able to do so. Because the Boeing product's about 20 years newer than their Airbus equivalent. Sorry, 20 years older than their Airbus equivalent. Apart from that, all good.
Climb 081, identify the climb flight level 130.
Climbing flight level 130, 081.
So now entering the Netherlands. Having now finished the snack service. We may get more snacks later on, but that'll come later.
Drawyah 5 Hotel, clearance available, ready to copy.
Ready to copy, Drawyah 5 Hotel.
clear to Krakow, Echo Papa Kilo Kilo, Velny, 3 Kilo departure, runway 21, initial climb level 60, squawk 0157.
Clear to Krakow out of runway 21, 73 kilo departure, initial flight, flight level 060, squawking
what part of it doesn't work, Aviation Forever? You've bought it, what doesn't work?
8 hotel.
Kazara 58 Hotel, repeat fully correct, please report POB.
177
Welcome,
POB.
Captain Andy, how you doing? Welcome, channel, welcome to the chats.
Copy, thank you. We're ready. Taxi holding point Lima to Sierra, runway 21, report please.
Welcome, Timothy, how you doing? Welcome to the
Short
chats.
of 200 on discretion.
So,
Drawyah,
Fortress
58 hotel.
Netherlands, do you? From up here? Fair enough. Yeah, the level of detail marked off flights in this default world is phenomenal. Sounds like imagery, so it's proper real-world overhead imagery. Combine it with a high-quality mesh, and you've got yourself a fantastic default world. I do love this sim. It's not perfect, but it does a fantastic job. Yeah, deja vu comes down to the fact that hopefully this time we won't have any engine failures ahead of us due to glitchy systems and fuel burn problems. Okay, so in that case, Aviation Forever, head to the, well, if you're missing aircraft, head to the Content Manager and re-download them. Download them, and that should get the aircraft appearing. As for the land challenges, again, that's down to the fact that the Content Manager doesn't download everything sometimes. So head to your Content Manager in your profile and just download it all. Should work no problem. What do I think of Rex? As a scenery developer, Rex are fantastic. Their sceneries have always been great. I do enjoy what they do. For example, the Worldwide Airports HD pack they did for FSX B3D, that was fantastic. Loved it. As their weather add-on, no, not for me, I'm afraid.
Monitor Unicorn 1228, thanks for flying, bye-bye.
There's been looking at the reviews, looking at footage the add-on in action, it's not the best. It's an attempt, but certainly needs a bit more work before it becomes viable. But Hi-Fi Tech, the guys behind Active Sky, have always been the kings of weather packages. Check the fuel. Oh yes, CEO, I am. I absolutely am today. We've even carried excess fuel, about 10% extra today, just to keep the airplane going. Apart from that, so far so good. How you doing? Theodore, guys, if you want to know in the chat, is the developer of the A321, the Canadian Mods developer. So, any questions, anything technical, feel free to ask him. Yes, the A321 is compatible with the A321X.
Order, then push and start approved, QNH1009.
I'm not sure if someone's working with Barcelona. I wouldn't be surprised if someone was, given that it is a major international hub. But no developers I can think off the top of my head at this exact point in time.
China is 486, fly heading 10.
Fly heading 100, July 486.
Oh yes, tracking links. If you guys want to track my flights,
final level
get the link for you.
No speed restriction.
Climbing to flight level 330 and now speed restriction 081.
So if you want to track my flight today, you can do so via this link here. That's my IVAO whereby tracking link. So whereby acts as like a Flight Radar 24, but for IVAO users. So well worth a look, well worth seeing some action, and yeah, it should be quite good. check the flight plan, check the flight following, all that kind of stuff. So we have ATC right now over Germany, and potentially over parts of Poland as well, seeing their ATCs kind of coming in and out at the moment. Germany very well covered, especially in the northern areas. Yep, so if all goes to plan, you lot will have the aircraft in your hands by about 9 PM today. 2.5 hours to go to Moscow. I don't use 787 new car because it's broken. Once it's a bit more fixed, I'll be using it a lot more often. This is flights from 2020. Orbit 2579, go ahead.
Proceed direct to Asdin, Alpha, Sierra, Delta, India, November.
Direct to Asdin for Orbit 2579 up. Let's insert that. Fly direct. So we've got a bit of a shortcut ahead of us, which was good to see. So far, so good. Joystick, Thrustmaster, HOTAS Warthog, stick and throttle. What is your landing technique for 787? Push the nose down. That's about it, really. Most aircraft, you pull the stick back, let the nose lift. In 787, push it down if you want to land. Takes a bit of practice, 787 for sure.
Alpha 724, kilometer. Is it the line 46? Can I make it the right turn?
Right turn, heading 150, clear approach 18 center, continue down 2000.
So as it stands, during our descent into Moscow, you might enjoy some rather nice sunsets. It's a 3-hour flight, plus 3 hours time difference between London and Russia, at least London and Moscow. So, should expect some nice sunset on arrival into Russia, which is always good. Orbit Airlines, again, serving us nice and grand at the moment. The 787 has kind of got ground effects. It's a manipulation of the trim, but it's a bit excessive, so push it down rather than pull up. Am I pilots? No, I'm not Aaron. I have flown microlights, I have flown gliders before, but I'm not a licensed pilot, no. An airplane below that. The issue with the 787 I have is not so much down to its stability, but the fact that the FMS, if you manipulate it, does cause you some problems. So, if you try to set up a...
Orbit 2579, contact Bremen radar 124175, bye-bye.
124175 for Bremen, for Orbit 2579, thank you very much, bye-bye. Right, 125. Hello there, Bremen. This is Orbit 2579 with you at cruise 350 to Admin.
Armwork 2579, with radar, good evening, radar contact.
Is there an airplane up there? Oh yeah, there.
This is 8 for my contact tower 126855, ciao.
Just cross the horizon of the airplane.
126, das ist mir 855, to get 8 for my Pacific Service, guten Abend noch, ciao.
That's the beauty of online networks as well. You never know who you're going to meet up in the sky. So that there will be a real person on either Microsoft Flight Sim, FSX, P3D, the X11 or the 2004. cloud's getting a bit thicker as well ahead of us. Up at cruise, nothing for us to worry about.
Bremen Radar, good evening, Lufthansa 667 on flight level 300, inbound Hotel Lima Zulu.
Same flight as yesterday, but updated airplane, because yesterday's airplane had a few glitches which have now been fixed.
Dragon 0 to 8, good day. You're supposed to contact Langen Radar on frequency 123.325.
Sorry, sir, the last message was for me, Delta Golf Romeo 028.
Affirmative, Delta Golf Romeo 028, contact Langen Radar, frequency 123.325. Bye-bye.
Land challenges, like I said, download them in the content manager. A321 mods. It's not yet released, but if all goes to plan, it releases when we touch down in Russia, which will be about 9 PM UK time.
To contact or... Ah, okay. Stand by for a minute, I coordinate that. The other aircraft checking in, confirm Lufthansa 667.
ATC speaks in German because in German airspace they're allowed to. Local ATCs are allowed to speak in their native language.
667 on the flight level 300.
It's most common in Poland, Italy and Spain. Those are countries that generally speak in their native language, but other ATC areas are allowed to, both in real life and in IVAO as well.
Lufthansa 667.
Yes, currently connected to Bremen Center. We are currently over Germany.
081V2, climbing to flight level 330, inbound Laret.
MCDU works absolutely perfect. It is an A320 MCDU, if I go up, sorry.
Delta Golf Romeo 0 to 8, try again 123.325. I guess
okay, can't see it. Basically, it's the same as the A320.
You're supposed to contact 123.325.
This poor guy in ATC right now trying to find a frequency, but can't find it. He's tuning up here.
Thank you, sir. Good day.
I don't speak Russian, and I do know Russian ATC very much officially speak Russian, so hopefully we'll be on Unicom for that, but it should be good, should be good. Welcome KC, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Performance absolutely fine, the status update. No major issues as far as I'm aware.
Proceed to Delta Hotel 612.
Flight time 3 hours and 5 minutes. 3 hours 5 from London to Moscow. As it stands, we're expecting to land on runway 06 right. Actually, I'm going to tell you though, taking a direct approach to the runway. So no star available. Well, there are stars available, not that we're going to use. We're going to fly direct into 06 right.
Lufthansa 667, I have Delta Lima 455.
You say his plan and let you win. Sounds about right.
If all
goes to plan, we could arrive in Russia a bit early. It's next arrival 218, ETA 2034. So that's, according to the ETA at the top screen there, as the crow flies, less than 2 hours. Right, that doesn't take account our descent or approach, that is probably going to be pushed back a little bit. So far, so good for timing. Hello, runway, because the flight plan tells me uniform, echo, 06 right. So this is the flight plan I got for SimBrief, which we're basing today's flights info based on.
Maintain flight level 150 and expect ILS approach runway 23, have a glide to 11
Yeah, if I'd
Foxtrot.
like to track my flight, you can do so via this link here.
Ready.
You can find more information about the Canon Mods A321. You can do so via this link here. And that's the Discord server for them.
Maintain flight level 3.
Also, you can join the the Microsoft Flight Simulator Mods Discord server. Also, we do a lot of our work as well within the modding.
Lambda flight level 310, Lufthansa 7 Yankee Charlie.
Correct, Moldova. Aircraft releases as soon as we land in Moscow. Presume there are no issues between here and Moscow. Yep. Star model right there for your Learjets. The Orbit Airlines A321. And welcome Train Fan 123, how you doing? Welcome to the chats. Your chat's on screen, Elias. I can see there as well. Yeah, there you go. If you want me to block you, I can do. There, all good man, how you doing? Welcome chat, welcome to the chats. Who's Drawyah? Have I missed something? I keep seeing that name pop up in the chat a couple of times. Unless I've missed something. Whoops. Who's Drawyah? Check the fuel amount so far burned. From the clouds? I don't know. What are wrong with the clouds? They look fine to me. So far, so good. Still almost close you. Come back, Discord. Yes, a lot of nostalgia today. I'm sure a lot of people remember their early days of FSX back on Orbit Airlines were your go-to choice of aircrafts. We're flying with IVAO today, Jason, not VATSIM. Flying with IVAO.
From the 667, descent flight level 200, rate of descent 1,500 feet per minute.
Ooh, you can tell that passes on Microsoft Flight Sim, because they've actually given you the rate of descent as well in the ATC. See, that's what I like about IVAO. They give you the extra information that if your aircraft is limited, for whatever reason, then they will happily provide you the information you need to get yourself down. That's why I love this network. It's fantastic what they do here. So, the A321 will release Flight Not 2 as soon as it passes verification, but before that, there will be a temporary link to us to download from as well. So there'll be a temporary link, and as soon as it gets past the verification process of Flight Not 2, then it'll be available for Flight Not 2. So same process we did with the A3, the CRJ that came out on Saturday. Yep, flying an A321 thrust set simulations. Flying the A321, Orbit Airlines colours, the classic airline from Microsoft Flight Simulator X. And then in regards to future releases, I mean, what is there left? There's the 737, which doesn't have a cockpit to merge it with, so that'll be a little bit behind unless we get a dedicated person to make a cockpit for the 737. Potentially Learjet, we could see the Learjet ported across, but apart from that, we'll see, we'll see. Oh yeah, so IVAO you can do text only. You've got the text box just here, which you can type with instead. So you can type, you can send, that's all fine. The fact with Drawyah is that they're an X-Plane dedicated developer, and the development process for X-Plane is very different to Microsoft Flight Sim. FSX and P3D have similar development cycles, but still very different. X-Plane start all from scratch.
Flight level 280, inbound Hotel Lima Zulu.
Easy 177, same radar, good evening, crossing traffic, right to left, expect further climb in 2 minutes.
So liveries it comes with are Orbit Airlines, Pacifica, World Travel, and the White's livery. So the 4 default liveries are in Microsoft Flight Sim. Canadian Mods is looking for a dedicated texture developer to make the texture for the aircraft, liveries and all that. Hoping for a 2K texture developer. And if all goes to plan, if we find someone, then we'll get in doing that. Otherwise, because this is based off the default A321 model from FSX, there are hundreds of liveries available, which you can get from the different download websites. Just need to port them into the Microsoft Flight Sim texture and all that, but yeah, it all works a charm. I'm going to remove that even though personally, he just keeps spamming now, he does that every time. Right now, we are flying over northern Germany, close to the Danish border. Again, if you want to track me, you can do so via this link here.
Easy 177, climb flight level 340.
340, easy 177.
Tarmac 001, direct Echo Echo Lima.
Is that far north of Germany? I thought it was more central. I never realised that. I always thought it was more central Germany. Never realised it was that far north. Interesting. To be fair, my German geography is not super high in depth. I can tell where Berlin is, I can tell where Munich is, Frankfurt as well. But apart from that, my German knowledge is not super high. No wing views, I'm afraid. That's one thing this aircraft does not have. No wing views.
American Radar, hello, 24 Hotel, passing 2,300, climbing 4,000.
This is the jet 24 Hotel, Bremen radar, good day, radar contact, climb flight level 240.
Climbing flight level 240, this jet 24 Hotel, danke.
At the moment, Aerosoft are focusing on their CRJ products first. The Aerosoft CRJ we're expecting to see around December time. The Airbuses, perhaps a little way left before they come out.
Ligurian 17 Victor, no further ATC ahead, switch to Unicom 122, decimal 8, bye-bye.
And yes, this will be a freeware add-on available to download as soon as we land in Moscow. As it uses assets from FSX and the A320 cockpit from Microsoft Flight Sim 20, it's going to be a freeware mod, so that's no doubt about it.
Victor, no further ATC ahead, switch to Unicom 122, decimal 8, bye-bye. Squawk 2579, contact Bremen radar on frequency 123.225. Bye bye.
123.225 for Orbit 2579. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye. 123.225.
Unicom, Charge and Flug.
Unicom, Lufthansa Berlin, Charge and Stop.
That's 24 Hotel, Direct Echo, Echo Lima.
Direct Echo, Echo Lima, 24 Hotel, danke.
Hello there, Bremen Centre. This is Orbit 2579 at 350 for Adson.
Yeah, Orbit 2579, good evening. Bremen radar identified, flight level 350, proceed as fired.
Cool. So now on Bremen Centre East, and we shall be using these guys now basically until the end Germany, following Bremen East, and then the on Unicom. HC mod is IVAO.
For Charlie Whiskey, good evening. Bremen radar identified, flight level 340.
Actually, I set your mic on PACX. So if you go to the settings, you can activate it via the activate vocal input, or by just pressing on the microphone button down below. So pop up or button at the bottom, and that activates your microphone for PACX. No turboprops as far as I'm aware just yet. I mean, the only turboprop there really was in the Microsoft Flight Simulator realm was the ATRs. Was it ATR or Q400? No, it was Q400s. And if you remember, that was SAW, who was the default airline for FSX. But that was only ever an AI model. I'm not quite sure what the quality of that is. So it's something to look at. I'll make mention of it. Let's have a look at that, see if it's maybe something that could be looked into the future. Where'd the name Drawyah come from? It's my surname spelled backwards. Yep, Orbit Airlines. It's the classic. It's everybody's favourites. Well, for me, Orbit Airlines was my favourite for the bigger jetliners. World Travel for the CRJ. Although the Pacific logo livery does look sweet in these airplanes, I will say. If you want to detect your microphone, DJ Skies, make sure you have the America language pack installed, not activated. But if you go to your language settings, install English United States, and then, let's say, it doesn't have to be your primary, you can put whatever you use at the top, but make sure that's installed, and then your microphone should work without any problems. Yes, the A321X does work on the A321, Kenny. London to Moscow is only medium haul, and even then, it only just stretches, or just scrapes the difference between medium and short haul. London to Moscow, it's about an average flight for you to find the A321, especially someone like Wizz Air, who operates it from London Luton to Sheremetyevo. In terms of progress, we're over a third of the way there now, 2/3 of the way left to go. Do you get tired of the same questions? Not always original. Not always. You've got to understand that sometimes your viewers tune like halfway through the stream and therefore miss the first couple of minutes of it. To be fair, I did expect a few more repetitive questions about what happened yesterday, but honestly, I'll say chat's been alright today. So far, so good. Not sure about an A318, Ryan, due to the fact that there is no readily available FSX model, the A318, and it really comes down to what third-party developers are willing to share. There's a lot of, at the end of the day, I mean, it's one thing porting an FSX aircraft over, it's another doing it to the right permissions, and with the cockpit mergers as well. Because porting an aircraft's easy, that can be done, there's a tool for it. But getting the cockpit merge right, that's the bit that takes the skill. Not many people know how to do that yet.
For Charlie Whiskey, contact Bremen Radar 124175.
The A321 does have the range for London to New York. You have to fly at about half the weight, so quite light, but that is a possible route it can do in the A321, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Timothy, he looks into the future. Welcome, Warhawk, how you doing? Welcome to chat. Yes, Janice, there is an A321 flying with Orbit Airlines today. I will say, the clouds right now looking phenomenal. This sim is just too pretty. Yep, we are flying with IVAO today, Captain Yankin. We are flying with IVAO today. If you want to track our flights, you can do so via this link here, if I can get it to work. It's very temperamental, the whoops. Very temperamental, the copy link on this website. There we go. So you can track my flights, you can do so here. STARS for approach. So STAR stands for Standard Terminal Approach Routing, and basically it's a set of waypoints that will fly you into your arrival runway via certain routes that ATC will provide for you. And so they're designed to basically avoid other aircraft in the airspace, avoid the passing aeroplanes, and also avoid any like mountains, any no-fly zones, military bases, other airports, that kind of stuff. And so STARS routes you around all these kind of things and brings you onto a easy approach into your runway. FPS, right now we are seeing a solid 20, it jumps around a bit, 27, 28 seems to be the standard at the moment. And that's with my simulator with an FPS limiter. If I turned off the FPS limiter, we'd probably get about 45, 50 in this right now. I like IVAO, especially in Microsoft Flight Simulator, because the big thing with it is that it has proper model matching. So if someone's flying in X-Plane in the 737-800, then IVAO will show the 737-800. So the model matching works perfect. The ATC, very good to cater for Microsoft Flight Sim users, therefore if you need to descend, they'll give you the right to descent and all that, because, you know, VNAV doesn't work. And they're very, very catering. It's a very good network, IVAO, for Microsoft Flight Sim. Despite the fact that VATSIM have the partnership with Microsoft, I've heard a few people moan about it, I will say. And I've got a lot of respect for VATSIM. The controllers there, the users there, they're all great. They're very professional, they do what they do fantastically. I mean, there's a reason I use VATSIM on the top for about 5 years. But that came to an end, now I use IVAO. Why do I sound like a robot? What do you mean by that, Kishan? Is my voice really that monotone? Wow. You enjoy your flight, Captain Yankin? So, difference between this and A320. So, the A321... Oops. There we go. So, the A321, starters, has wingtip fences and not sharklets. Wingtip fences are used by the old A320s. We also have different engines. These are being the Rolls Royces rather than the CFM Leaps. you've also got what's the difference? You have dual split flaps, so rather than being a single plane, the flaps split in the middle in the A321, so you see you've got the different flap structures visible. And that's about it really. It's just an A321 at the end of the day. But wingtip fences, different engines, different flaps. The main difference between this and the A320neo. Oh yes, and extra doors. So it's got extra overwing exits, and rather than having the small ones on the wing, you've got proper full-size doors. Which if you go into the seating map, you can see where they are as well. So passengers sitting towards the middle of the airplane, there's just a gap there, because here you've got the behind wing doors. And the broken rudder, yes. Welcome Pacific, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chats. If you can use a bad call, Matt, call mops.
Yeah, 33903, Unicom 228, bye bye.
128, thank you for
Go back
service,
to your,
bye-bye.
we'll have a look at FSX and let me know what you think about those clouds. They're not perfect, but compared to every other cloud setup we've had in any flight sim ever, these are a whole world away. If language pack is installed, DJ, then my only suggestion would be to open up a support ticket with TFDi design. They're usually very quick to respond, to get back to you in a couple of hours. How to get these planes? So, this is a testing demo flight to the A321. If we land in Moscow without any issues, no bugs, no problems, then a download link will be released. So we did it with 747-400, we did it with the CRJ. This is like the testing demo flight. If all goes to plan, all flies smoothly, then the link will be able to, well, it'll be able to download.
Two 2579, Unicom 228, safe flight for you, bye bye.
122 decimal 8 for Unicom, Orbit 2579. Thank you very much. You take care of yourself. Bye bye. Right, so that is probably that for our ATC right now today. As looking at the map coverage, there's no one over Poland right now, nobody over Russia. I mean, that can always change, so I might tune in later. There's Qatar 3 Delta. Is that you, Yakin? Qatar 3 Delta? Yes, you are. Welcome to the stream. So 1208, now on Unicom. Right now we are flying over, look, over the Baltic Sea, just south of Sweden, just north of Poland. So carry on flying across Lithuania and then into Moscow. Helsinki Tower right now, but potentially, like I said, we may get some ATC over this area. We'll figure out how it goes later on. If you want to see this yourself, you can use that link there. Right, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. I'll grab myself a quick glass of water, if you don't mind. Okay. Yes, the A320 cockpit is the same as the A321, so the only thing you're missing in the A321, the A321, there's an extra panel on the overhead. I'm not quite sure what exactly it is, but there's an overhead panel extra. Otherwise, the rest of it's all perfectly the same. And that includes the Neo with the CEOs. Same cockpit, same layouts, very similar aircrafts. If you're learning the basics, Ryan, then I recommend, instead of using voice for ATC, start off with text chat or even find an airport with ATC and just sit there for like 45 minutes to an hour and just listen. Listen to other people, listen to what they say, listen to how they respond, and learn. Listen and learn. Start with text and eventually move your way on to voice chats. You'll be doing it in no time. For example, back when I started off with that sim, one thing that I did was started off flying in Africa a lot. So I flew the PNG 737 with Comair, started out of Johannesburg, did a lot of flights with that, and basically, as I flew in Africa, you had a lot of voice chat, you had lots of well, you didn't have much voice chat, you had the odd voice chat, you had a lot of text chats. And so it was relatively quiet airspace, very simple to learn, and yeah, eventually gained the confidence, started speaking with voice. Welcome Sen, how you doing? Welcome to chats. I'm glad you're enjoying the older videos. Let's see if that's live. And yes, we're over the Baltic Sea right now. Over the Baltic Sea. Just on the halfway. Just on the halfway there. Right, I'm grabbing myself a glass of water. BBAIB. Welcome, Julian. Right, I'm back. So the lower toolbar is PACX, TFDi line PACX. This is what the menu looks like. These are the full cabin maps, the interiors, that kind of stuff. We'll have to look. Very good add-on, one I do very much enjoy using. Download the altitude client, Yanis. You don't need TeamSpeak with altitude. The altitude client comes with the voices built in. The TeamSpeak piggyback one, that was basically for the older clients used for the older flight simulators. Sounds like YouTube's compression, just mucking around the clouds there. It looked fine on my system. like some people are seeing. If you're seeing dots in the sky, it means you're drunk, basically. PACX, TFDi design PACX. Much nicer UI. The developers behind TFDi design are very good. I do like the fact that you can use your own voice, your own microphone to speak. Also a lot more freedom over custom airlines. So instead of using the dedicated, your pilot's name is this, you get to say your own name and your own voice. You get the downloads the different sound packs and all that. It's a good add-on, packs. Very good. Let me find a link for it then. Let me find you a link. Here you go. Try this. If you can download IVAO with the voice built in, that link there should do you for X-Plane. And yes, you're now on Unicom for the rest of the flight as well. We had people over the Netherlands and Germany, but there's no one over Poland, nobody in Lithuania, nobody in Moscow. So unless someone logs in later, should be cruise rest of the way there. Already coasting the runway in olive oil in Moscow, getting ready to bus up. No, the add-on, the A321 will not cost money. The A321 will be a freeware mod. It releases around the time we land in Moscow, which is about 9 PM. Nope, the overlay does not use CNC display data, all built in locally. And yes, PACX you pay once, keep it forever. Hoi ik ben een pilot. A featureless for the A321. I mean, what features are there? If it works in the A320neo default, if it works in the A321nx, then it works in the A321 as well. So use the same cockpit, and it also works the same cockpit upgrade, D2nx, as the standard default Neo. And yes, I stream with OBS. OBS with FlyLive Studio running the overlay. Good on. So far so good, Theo. Fuel burn looking again much more stable this time. So another 9 tons in the fuel tank. It looks like we won't be running out. We are using live weather to look up. This is live weather currently over the Baltic Sea right now. Oh yep, door cam also works. If I press the button, where is it? There it is. Press the video. Let's get the video feed as well. Ooh, slightly missing lines there at the bottom. That should fill up all the way down to the box. But yeah, you got the video feed for the galley there. And yes, shadows looking much more stable, although still need a little bit more work to get them complete. There's no wing view, Julian, no wing view yet in the A321. It really comes down to if we can get a merge with the external model, get that all looking correct. Welcome Victor, how you doing? Welcome to the chats. Fuel burn so far, 2330 times 2. The A321 doesn't so much fly differently, it certainly taxis differently. As the nose gear is further away from the centre of the aircraft than the A320, turning left and right does take a little bit more of a... You kind of have to push out further and turn longer. But But flying, it's very similar. Yeah, it's 8:22 PM, but it's live weather. Live time and live weather are different, as I explained to you 30 minutes ago, Luca. Listen. No, Jared, the video feed does not show Jared knocking on the door. Hopefully he's not even on board this aircraft right now. Yeah, again, we checked this, there was no Jared on board. He's still glued to the toilets of the Korean Airlines 747. The A321 comes with it comes with Orbit Airlines, we're flying today. We've got Pacifica, World Travel, and a default white delivery. And since it's based off the default A321 model, you've also got hundreds of liveries you can also download for free on different websites and just port over to the sim. Yeah, afraid not. The legend of Jared, not on board this aeroplane today. How to get the cockpit? Make sure you're downloading the latest dev version of the A321X. Otherwise it should work without any problems, you don't. Welcome Flipper, how you doing? Welcome to the chats. Nice to hear from you too. Trying to find the A321 today. What's Poep Huge? Yes, Edo, because at the moment the developer version has been made to work with the latest update of Microsoft Flight Sim. The stable download won't be available until they've actually got the proper stable working version. Download link not just available, the download link will be available on landing in Moscow. So if the stream goes well, if there's no issues, no bugs, no problems, then a release link will be able to download. Okay, try them on 23k subs. Yeah, 23.4k subs, TCV. 23.4 at the moment. Hit that last week. Yes, so the messages you see on screen, those are Unicom messages on IVAO. So they appear as tips in the sim. No TFM 56 engines, only comes with the default Rolls-Royce engines. No, so if you have the standard edition of Microsoft Flight Sim, the what's it called? The Game Pass edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator, then the A321 will work no problems, because it comes with the default sim. We'll be able to run this without any issues. Lander, welcome Mega, how are you both doing? Channel, welcome to the chat. So far so good. We are now just over halfway to Moscow. Moscow is a default airport, I believe. Yes. Well, I could be wrong. So I'm wrong, so someone update me. But, we are running the Premium Deluxe Edition Microsoft Flight Sim. Definitely chocolate digestives. Ginger nuts are nice, but if I had a choice, digestives. Well, to be fair, I've always been more of a rich tea person myself. Yeah, cockpit access these days in aircraft not so highly given that COVID, as you're right, definitely makes things a bit more difficult. So cockpit stays a bit more sterile than it normally does. Cabin crew too can get less access than they used to in cockpit as well. I'd say if you want to get access, wait until things calm down a little bit more before you ask again. Start seems to be low on the horizon, so I believe we are still expecting perhaps maybe not a sunset approach, slightly darker one. To be fair, the game I've got myself addicted on lately is Watch Dogs Legion. As a Londoner myself, and as a massive fan of the Watch Dogs series, the fact that the third game set in London is just, well, it's a lot of fun, that. So many landmarks, so many roads I've actually walked down, seen in real life. I can now go and end up blowing up in the game. But it's a lot of fun, Watch Dogs Legion. Graphics settings, a mixture between high and ultra. I've got a video dedicated to my graphics settings, well worth checking out. Also goes into my overclock settings as well, with MSI Afterburner. Heathrow Airline, very good train sim mods. Hope you enjoy it, Richard. No, the A321 mod will not include the Neo shortcuts. Just comes with the default or standard twin-tip fences. Being the default FSX model ported, what you see is what you get kind of thing. I mean, it works, it flies well. I'm on IVAO right now, so it obviously is online compatible from the get-go. But it's one of those things where it's a simple port, but it works very effective. And so, certainly worth the download when it comes out, hopefully in an hour and 30 minutes, presuming we land with no engine issues on our arrival into Moscow. Welcome Alaska, how you doing? Welcome to the chat, how you doing, sir? I see you've streamed the CRJ in, I think it was it Alaskan livery you did it in? Alaska? Not Alaska, what livery was it you did CRJ streaming? I saw you did that earlier in the week. Yep, we are flying with the A320neo cockpit mod. We are flying with the A321X installed. So the A321X is compatible and works absolutely fine with the 321. Download link not yet available. Download link will be available as soon as we touch down in Moscow. Presumably there are no bugs, no issues and no problems with the aeroplane. Landing with the A320 is a bit easier when it's faster, but you do need to be very careful depending on the length of the runway, that you don't end up overshooting. I generally follow the approach speed set to me on the MCDU. We'll go through a bit more detail later on when we get close to the airport, but for the most part, all works rather fine. Actually, no waypoints left. Makes me directs to Moscow, so 5 points left. He's got some soup, very nice CDS. Looks like I'm getting a few pancakes. Dinner tonight, I'm going to make a family old recipe. What problems have you had, Javier? What issues have you had with the 2NX? Thank you Alaska for the $4.99. Possible fair streamer, no worries, sir. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, Karen, what are you doing? I mean, you're a growing channel. I've looked at you, I've looked at your stats and all that. You're doing well. And I think because you're now on holiday, you've got a little bit more time to yourself now, so keep at it. You'll get there. You'll definitely get there. You're lively, you're proactive, you're doing a good job. Wing views? No wing views yet, I don't. No wing views yet. I did stream yesterday, but due to system issues, we decided to redo this again. I've got the 1660, I have got the 3080 on order. The problem though is that it's about, well, I'm 496 on the queue getting one, and based on the current deliveries, I'm at least 19 weeks away from getting it. So, mid next year, I expect to find my 3080. Mid next year. It's a good looking aircraft, this. The FSX model, but very much helped by the Microsoft Flight Simulator world environment. It's got fantastic shadows, lighting effects. Just comes across really, really nice in the sim. Now entered Lithuania. Across Lithuania. Next stop, Russia. PMDG is coming out Q3 2021, so about a year's time we're expected to see the PMDG 737. And that's presumably having any more delays, and potentially they could release it early as well, so It's coming. A bit more development to go, but it's certainly coming. Specs you can get in the description. I'm running an i7-6700 processor with 16 gigs of RAM and a GTX 1660 graphics card. I believe the PMG 737 will come with a wingtip. Sorry, what are they called? Yeah, bladed wingtips as default, and you had sharklets, that's what they're called. I believe it will come with sharklet options, yes. At least the PMD G737 NGXU certainly did, as per standard. Welcome Lewis, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Not too bad, so far so good. Great enjoying the 320 so far. 321 even. And yes, the fact I've taken this week off of work means I've got a bit more time to myself as well this week. Back next week, but see how things go. Well, actually, might not be out next week. Might be stuck at home. Looks like the internet got a bit droppy there. I don't think it's too much. No, you can't infinites. Although I'm going to mute you for spam instead. If you want to be a moderator, that's the worst way to do it. Oh yes, Orbit Airlines. Back to the classic FlyLive FSX. Yeah, so we're losing a few frames right now. It's just bad internet, but not looking too bad. As long as it's still moving smoothly and the audio's still working, that's not too bad. Currently over Lithuania right now, Ilias. Currently over Lithuania. Try something, 2 seconds. I wonder. Clouds. Bring back to medium, see what you look like. Nah, definitely better on ultra. So one guy earlier said that clouds look better on medium than ultra, but I don't think so. Where have they gone? Clouds. Yeah, definitely better with that. I mean, we've still got another hour and a half lander if we get to Moscow, so the bus still has to wait a bit. How should we go forward backwards? Just using the arrow keys. Check the sim config. That's Back in 2 seconds. I'm going to figure out why the internet here is being so poor at the moment. It just drops recently for no apparent reason. Right, I think that's stabilising now a bit. Should be back to a bit more, yeah, that's better. So we're going to start our descent in about 30-ish minutes or so. So the A321 mod works just like any other aircraft mods, where you drag drop it to the community folder and basically run it through that. Works exactly the same way as any other aircraft mods, same as the A320neo. Drag drop into the community folder and the sim will load it without any problems. Also, if you have the A321X installed, then it's also fully compatible with the A321X. Back to Heathrow. You enjoy it, Chris. You enjoy it. Nope, so the cockpit is the A320nx, the external model is the Airbus A321 CEO, not Neo. So you've got the sharklets, you've got the wingtip fences, you've got the small engines. Extra liveries will be made, but Canada Mods are currently looking for a texturer who know how to make liveries in 2K. If they can find someone, then they'll certainly come with more real-life liveries, but as it stands, it comes with the default sets. More will come. More will come very soon. Just a case of when, really. Welcome, Nick Carr. How you doing? Welcome to the chats. Yes, so the aircraft will be available when we land, either straight away on flight slot 2, or via a default like testy link for the before it becomes available. But yes, if we land. So if for some reason we have massive engine failure and fall out of the sky, then Yeah, maybe not. But if we land there with no problems, which as it stands, touch wood, we'll get there no problem, then the aircraft will release and everyone can download it if they're in use. Oh yes, fair play Jarmo, hope you enjoyed the watch. Yes, the A321X is compatible with this, so if you want to use default cockpit then you can do. If you want to use the upgraded, then you can also use the upgraded, no problem. Can confirm a download link will be available post landing if there are no problems. And yes, the CRJ700 also made by the same developer, as is the 747-400. Not Dash 8, but Dash 400. Hardware I fly with? I fly with the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog stick and throttle. Engines do work differently in this mods, and the fuel burn has also been adjusted to be more realistic to the real A321 as well, so it has seen some adjustments to flight dynamics and systems, and it is built to be as close to a 321 as possible with the sim in its current state time. So you've got longer range, higher performing output engines, and it just feels more like an A321. We're cruising at flight level 350, so what you're looking at is the altitude from sea level, although different pressure will see us flying at slightly different altitudes. So we're flying at flight level 350, but I think the pressure outside will be ever so slightly different. Flight levels are different to altitude. Very nice, Nils. I'm glad you enjoyed the watch. Yes, the A321 is bigger than the A320. It's got the extra overwing door. Carries more weight, carries more cargo, flies much further. I won't say this looks that dark at all. And you can see the sun is slowly starting to set now. And so, expect... I'm not sure. Will it be sunset in Moscow? Will it be pitch black outside? It could be either of those, really. About to cross the border now into Latvia. Not long to go now, not long at all. 1 hour and 13 minutes. So the A321 is similar to the 757 in size. The 757-200 to be specific. The 757-300 was a much bigger aircraft, but 752 is a similar size to the A321. Or the 737-10. Descent, we've got a fair bit to go, yeah. So another 25-ish, 30-ish minutes for descents. What I do daily after YouTube, so I do marketing and social media, is that correct? Marketing and social media. And yes, the A321 is a medium haul. It's a medium haul aircraft, but it has got capability to do some long haul routes with a reduced capacity load. So, for an aircraft classified, so, how's it go? The distance between London and Moscow is about 3,000 miles, I think. Yeah, about 3,000 kilometers, about 1,700 miles between the two. So, short haul would be classed anything between 0 and 1,600 miles. 1,601 to about 2,400 miles would be out medium haul. 2,401 miles plus will be counted as, sorry, to about 4,200 will be counted as long haul. 4,201 plus miles will be counted as ultra long haul ULR. Those about roundabout figures. There's no real set distance for these kind of things, but that's kind of like a roundabout figure of different distances in there. Kind of label. Get a second snack service shortly. Have a satisfaction around 90% at the moment. Plane I wanted to release, definitely the PMDG 737. That's the big one for me at the moment. Once that comes out, then so yeah, you won't see me flying anything but a 737 for about 6 months at the very least. I do like my 73s, very good aircraft. head to the content manager, Richards, and there you'll be able to download the jetliners. Download from the content manager. Oh, look at the chat. I can see who's here for the stream, who's here just to look for an aeroplane download. I suppose like 2 hours of exclusivity gonna work in my benefit there. Welcome, what's today? How you doing? Michelle, welcome to the chat. How you doing today, sir? No Airbus autopilot issues that I've noted personally, but other people may have completely different issues and problems. You never know. To be fair, since the Microsoft Flight Sim was released, I've flown absolutely perfect, no problem whatsoever. And then you look at other people who have either completely given up on flying a Microsoft Flight Simulator because they just can't fly full stop, or people who stick to just lighter aircraft because the jetliners autopilots just keep flipping them around like crazy. And here I am, just sitting here at cruise in my A321 without a care in the world. Now, I've been very fortunate with the sim. Everything seems to have worked pretty much spotless since it came out. So, liveries it comes with is Orbit Airlines we're using today. You've got Pacifica, World's Travel, and the default white livery. My favourite kind of flap, aileron or aileron? Definitely an aileron. Am I real life pilots? No. I've done some real life flying, but I don't hold a pilot's license, no. Oh yeah, and that's the other problem as well. A lot of people trust the autopilots when a lot of what I do is automatic, so we're not using LNAV or VNAV, well, we're using LNAV right now, so heading, lateral navigation is set, but speed, altitude and rate of climb, that's all done manually. There is someone developing an A320. I'm not sure how far the project is in the works right now, but there is a developer out there doing a A320, and I believe it'll be a freeware as well, so I need to figure out what progress they've made so far. Something is coming. Something is definitely coming. I know the controls, I know the basics in setting up an aircraft and flying, but a lot of people can. It just takes practice, it just takes a bit of, well, learn the basics, do your research, and trust me, the more you practice, the better you get in no time, really. The 7.4 rating in the sim, I wouldn't say so much buggy, more that it needs a bit of work to the system to get it running a bit smoother, but I can certainly fly without too many major problems. And yes, it does fly similarly to the A320neo in the sim. Don't decrease the throttle until you're about 20 feet off the ground. 1,000 feet, you'd basically be stalling it into the runway. 10 times, more like 50 times. At the end of the day, I mean, flying on a flight sim is one thing. Flying in a real aircraft is very different because right now I'm sitting in my bedroom. I've got a monitor up. There's a sim on it. It flies normal. In real life, you're dealing with turbulence. You're dealing with like the vibrations of the aircraft, and the fact that in reality you've got 200 people sitting behind you. That's well, they're all riding with you. You're in charge of that. In a sim, it's a lot more relaxed. In real life, it can get overwhelming if you don't know what you're doing. So, like I say, I tend to stick to smaller aircraft and gliders. If I get the opportunity to fly something bigger, then absolutely I'll take it, but not for now. There you go, snacks and drink service. Round 2 coming through.
In a few moments, we'll be starting our in-flight service. We'll be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Please look in your seat back for a list of complimentary premium drinks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. If you wish to make an additional purchase, we only accept credit cards.
There is turbulence there for 2020, but you don't actually feel it, like in your chair vibrating. Stakes are much higher in real life. We have 174 people on our aircraft today. 174. Cabin crew serving their drinks and snacks. The trolley service. Yes, this album is compatible with the A321X. I've done a couple of 8-hour plus flight streams before, and given that we're now in lockdown, in the UK will be from Thursday, potentially have a few more of these longer haul flights ahead of us as well. We'll see. We'll certainly see. Got snacks on board. Well, given that we are flying with Orbit Airlines, we have the freedom to use our own snacks because it's a fictional airline, and therefore fictional operation. Hey, yeah, vodka, Coca-Cola, and pretzels. What more do you want in life? No XLR plans just yet. No. Alright, so you're limited to 3 activations, say you, but when you run out of activations, you can reset them for free. The reason they limit you to 3 is because they, in the case of people like sharing the link, sharing the installation key and all that, it's basically a way to stop piracy. So once you run out, you can just reset them and it gives you 3 out of 3 straight away for free. So you can update as much as you want, it doesn't affect your downloads in any way. Good luck, Guilherme Le Brasilia. ATC exam. Good luck. I don't have the Moscow scenery pack. No, I don't. I know that Drawyah Design have done that. With our flight today, we don't actually fly over the city of Moscow, coming from the other side. If we came in from the east, we would. We're coming in from the west. Because the sun will likely set on us before we arrive, so not too much to see. I've not ignored you, Blue Spartans. I've actually answered that question for you 2 times. Heathrow Sydney, we can do probably in 787 or 748 actually is range as well. It won't be a short one, that's for sure. Yeah, the country isn't really in lockdown. No one likes stories who just told them to stay indoors. No plans for an XLR yet, no. There we go, I've just realised that Moscow has appeared at the end of our ND there. Getting very close now, very close indeed. 2/3 of the way there. In fact, we're up to about 4/5 of the way there. Alright, I'm now going to mute apt for spam, so I've had to answer that question at least 5 times now. Flying drunk, yeah, just look away. Yes, so you can download PACX's latest version of their website, or when you load up the tool, it also asks you do you want to download this version as well. But so like I say, you have free activations, but don't fear that you're going to run out because you can just reset them for free with no problem. $30 and you get to keep it for life, or until the ATF doesn't go bankrupt. But fingers crossed, not anytime soon, because they are developing an MD-11 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So the PACX developers are also doing an MD-11, which I'm very excited for. Welcome Martin, how are you doing? On the channel, for the chats. Dzień dobry, jeszcze raz, jak się masz dzisiaj? Vienna. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot going on right now in continental Europe. Enjoy your landing into that Gothenburg Sierra Golf Golf, I think it is. You enjoy that west of that. Yep, flying the A321 today. Flying in Orbit Airlines colours. Thank you very much, Simon. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you for the support. Right, so let's we're about 45-ish minutes away from landing. That's even a bit closer, so let's start programming our approach into Moscow, shall we? So we're going to use an ILS 06 right Zulu approach. No star, flying direct, no transition. Via GoPro, who's this? Yeah, go ahead. Things like that. Check the flight plan 2 seconds, make sure it all makes sense. So plan, zoom in. Step, 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 step. GoPro, right and turn into the approach. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. So approach into Moscow has now been planned out. And in less than 1 hour. Fuel, got plenty of fuel on board. You've only used about half our fuel tanks right now, so far so good. Yeah, I've got no reason to see why this aircraft will not release today. We'll see about X-Plane. I mean, if I ever get desperate to fly the 737, then definitely. But, I don't know, I'm really enjoying Microsoft Flight Sim so far. I have no major issues with this platform. There's a reason I'm ignoring you, Galley, and that is because of your rudeness. Your demands for realistic weather and how time zones work, blah blah blah, I don't care. Right. So you can see the sun is setting on us now. Nice orangey tint starting to appear on the horizon. Very shortly, let's start our descent. Welcome, Ariton, how you doing? Welcome to the chats. Hey, you bought about to say, did you? How is it? How is it? Scenery that I've looked at, and well, I might pick up if it looks good. I don't have the Thrustmaster Airbus throttle or the Honeycomb throttle, but well, Thrustmaster I've been using for years. The Airbus stick is based on the T16000M, which was a long-running stick loved by a lot of people, and that's the actually stick I've used as well. So if it's based on that, then I've got no issue with the Airbus the Airbus stick. The throttle, haven't used it, but again, with Thrustmaster, they're high-quality products. And, well, you're going to enjoy what you get with them. As for the Honeycomb, I've used the yoke, I've not used the throttle. The yoke's decent, the yoke's very good for what it does. I like the buttons that comes with and all that, it's very nice, very good to handle. I like it. But I won't give opinions on stuff that I haven't used, basically. It's better to stay on the safe side rather than say, this product's fantastic, and it's actually rather rubbish. But, like I say, Honeycomb, Thrustmaster, they're both well-known people, companies in the flight sim scene. They both do fantastic stuff, and yeah, I'm sure people that have got them have been enjoying them a lot. Time estimated to land. I mean, given that we've got an estimated time at the top here, as well as a countdown at the bottom, I predict we land in 50 minutes and 13 seconds. Still a few minutes for descent. We're in case of waiting for the airport to appear on the ND, and about 10 minutes after that. An A330 would be interesting. It just comes down to, well, what permissions we've got regarding what models we can put. I mean, the A320 cockpit will work pretty much perfect with it. I can imagine there's very little difference between the two aircraft. And so it's just a case of having an external model ready to go, and in the flight dynamics, bring it across with something similar. But a 330 would be good, absolutely. I'm just going to get rid of Tom now because I've muted him. His hand is warning, and also just getting a bit obscene. Right, so let's get the weather update now in Moscow, see how things have changed since we departed. Oops. Full stop. Okay. Dot meta, uniform, echo. So, still 1204 knots, visibility 4.5 kilometers, overcast at 500, so the visibility is getting worse and worse right now. Hopefully we'll manage the landing no problem. Although, just a case of keeping an eye on the winds right now. Not the wind so much, but the visibility for sure. A Concorde will release for Microsoft Flight Sim. I can't remember the developer's name. They're working alongside Just Flight to do the Concordes. Just a case of waiting for the sim to allow aircraft fly over Mach 1. That's the big limitation right now. Supersonic speed not yet available in Microsoft Flight Simulator. PNDG 737, still about a year away at this point. I've had a couple of delays in terms of actually creating the add-on, so about a year away at the moment. Let's track me. That there is our tracking link. We've passed Velikie Luki over Russia right now. Not too far from Moscow. Not too far at the moment. There's a couple of aeroplanes in the area. Although, looking at the map right now, you're flying to Dobrodevo. You're flying to Dobrodevo. We're flying to Sheremetyevo. That's the other Moscow airports. So we're now about 200 miles from the airport now. Actually less than that, more like 150 miles to go. 150 to go. So the A321. The A321 has, this is a CEO, not a Neo. So we have wingtip fences on the wings, not sharklets. You have the smaller, older Rolls-Royce engines rather than CFM LEAP-1As. We have an extra exit on the aircraft, and it has more range, better fuel efficiency, and carries much more weight as well. Wizz Air still fly a lot of their A321 out of the UK. Wizz Air, British Airways. Actually, that's about it really. Monarch and Bust. So British Airways and Wizz are the two main 21 operators. The PNG 737 will cost $139.99. That was a price as confirmed by FS Elites last year. Although if you bought the NGXU for P3D before last year, then you only pay $40 for the NG3. So you paid $99.99 for the NGXU, you pay $40. So you still pay the $139.99, but you pay it in two parts rather than in one go. Welcome Nizar, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chats. Yeah, so eventually the Microsoft Flight Simulator, the future Microsoft Flight Sim will include a helicopters DLC add-on pack. And so helicopters are certainly on the way for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Again, just a question of when does it get here. But certainly on the way, certainly not coming for it. The Aerosoft CRJ, I don't know if a price has been made for it. They might have said it, they might have announced it somewhere, but I don't know the price of the Aerosoft CRJ. All I know is that I own it for P3D, and I have loved it when I've used it. It's a fantastic aircraft, the Aerosoft CRJ, a lot of fun to fly. Program our performance for the approach, and then start our descents. So QNH 1022, temperature is 6 degrees centigrade, reduced from 0.5, altitude wind 1204, transition altitude 11,000. So it's a 155 approach speed, 150 landing, decision heights 845. Oh, that's all sets. 130 miles to go. Plane we in. We're flying the Airbus A321, flying in Orbit Airlines colours. An airline I'm sure many of us have a place for in our hearts. I remember back in FSX, whenever you saw these default liveries, you're like, ugh, not a real airline, it's all fake, don't like it. Nowadays, you look at it, it's like, wow, this is nostalgia, this is back in the good days of FSX, back when we were all happy. I disagree with you, Klopp. I think that's more than enough price for an aircraft of the level of quality as PMDG. It's PMDG pricing it, not Microsoft. Microsoft have no input to the pricing of the PMDG 737. This is interesting. The aircraft's made a left-hand turn there. It's counteracting the 75 knot crosswind, so actually we're flying in a straight line, but because of the heavy winds, it's kind of crabbing along now at this point. It's interesting that. We're still flying in the right direction, but because the winds are strong enough, we are now crabbing to get there. No worries, Menashe. You take care of yourself. Have a good one. FS Labs are also known to charge a similar level of price for the P3D add-ons. And the fact is, with Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's well, it's going to last 10 years. And so, if you were to buy only one product from PNDG for the last 10 years, you pay $140 now. They've still got to pay their developers for 10 years. And so, back in the days of like you had FS 2004. 2 years later, FSX released. And so with that, you could buy the original PNDG NG, the NG1. That was about $40, and that was for 2 years of flight simming. X came out, the NGX came out. That went for $60, and people were still in the back of their minds thinking there's a new sim coming out in a few years, Microsoft Flight, and so that will last you a few years before you buy the next one. Then Flight came out, and well, if you remember Flight, then you don't remember Flight. But yeah, that came out, did its thing. P3D came out, which P3D is sold as... With P3D, people don't realise that it's sold as a study-level professional training sim and not an entertainment sim, and therefore you can get away with the higher license prices for a professional training platform. And now with Microsoft Flight Sim, now that we know there won't be another sim for at least 10 years, you've got 10 years to go for it. There you go. So the INI A300 display level, it's $80, but with that price point, you've got to consider that a lot of X-Plane's market no longer use X-Plane, they've now migrated to Microsoft Flight Simulator. So $80 is enough to recoup the costs and pay their developers, while also be able to spot their own sales. Hang on, we need to start a set now, sorry. Rambling a bit too long there. Mach point 772, and send at 2,000 feet per minute. Down to flight level... Well, 2,200. Down to 2,000.
Handing out forms momentarily. Please review and complete these forms and keep them with you for presentation upon arrival.
Right, let's do this. Not long to go now. Not long at all. Unfortunately, Zar, to support crackers, I'll just get you banned with this channel. And there's one thing I'm very anti on this channel, it's piracy. Those who support it, those who request it. FSUI PC. So FSUI PC is a bridge between external mods and flight sim mods. And so stuff like PACX, stuff like IVAO, any mods that work externally to the sim, it can use PACX to see what it can use PACX to put information and to inject it back into the simulator. It's like a bridge between the sim and external. Microsoft Flight was supposed to be a simulator, but it came across as more of a game, and as a result, it didn't do too well. Right in position for what? Sorry, Theo. We said something before then. As far as I'm aware, the aircraft's doing alright. What we said beforehand. Hang on. Right position, that's fine. Oh, check the door position off. Ah, okay, that's fine. Fair enough. No worries about that then. As long as the aircraft works, that's the main thing. Yeah, it's just the door and a jet bridge. Could be worse. nope, my PC build is still a little way off, given that my RTX 3080 is about 19-20 weeks away from getting to me, so it's going to be a little while. Oop, I'm sorry, Paps and Yakin. Again, if you're supporting piracy, that's just how you get yourself banned. Goodbye. Don't get why people pirate add-ons. At the end of the day, developers still need to get their salary. Piracy was one of the reasons why FSX was the last Microsoft Flight Sim for 15 years. At the end of the day, Microsoft in the mid-2000s were running out of money and were basically about to go bankrupt. So they did their research and realised that some of their departments were losing more money and therefore they cut them, and that included Ace's team. More people using FSX, but less people were paying for it. As a result, it was losing money, and therefore Microsoft had to axe the flight sim developers. So, people who pirate, I am completely against. Anyone who mentions it, supports it, I will just ban outright. I'm not going to give them time. I'm not going to support them. No way. You may hate me for it, but that's just how I am. Some say piracy is not stealing. I see the opposites. Welcome, it's Call of Duty. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chats. Oh yeah, I'm sure it is worth the wait. It's just a case of when the 3080 gets it. It's still a little while away. But I'm watching it and keeping track of it. Hopefully soon. So just check, so runway 06 right's been selected, 109.1 has been set on the frequency, 75 degrees on course. I am 21 years old. 21. The clouds look strange because apparently YouTube is compressing them to look a bit funny. Unfortunately, that's just I'm going to look into different compression algorithms. It's like YouTube's just being a bit funny. The clouds today. But hey, could be worse. I wonder actually. I'm just going to try and brute force it with a control panel. Actually, I can't brute force it because I have to restart the sim afterwards. Okay, I'll work on it. I'll try and fix it. Small adjustments, try and get the a bit more clean. I don't see that signs now. Speed down to 240 knots. We can increase it later at a lower altitude, but for now, slow the plane down and get to a lower altitude. About 50 miles, 60 miles from the airport now.
Stop sign is now on.
60 miles to go. We'll actually decrease descent rate to about 1,800 minutes. Small adjustments, keep the airplane rolling. There is Warhawk, you take care of yourself. It's looking good at sunsets. I'm sure when we get into the clouds, it's going to be a fun little storm to deal with. It's looking really good this so far. So I'm using the default Microsoft Flight Simulator weather, and yeah, default weather I'd say it looks better and it's more accurate than the Rex weather. I love Rex for their scenery, but their weather add-ons, not so much. What was the one for P3D they did? Skyforce HD. That's another one which, on paper, looks really good, but if you look at reviews for it, it doesn't do so well, which is a shame because it had a lot of potential. These add-ons, they just need to work on their injection. I do that all the time at AV Geek. Whenever people ask, or whenever I'm flying over the country, I do state where we are. So we flew over England, cross over to Netherlands, Germany, Baltic Sea north of Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, into Russia. Yes, I have seen screenshots of Galley. Yeah, clouds are looking a bit rainy for some. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to try and fix it and tweak some settings and all that. We'll get there. We'll get there. Good for you, Galley. You're saying Galley. Golly is different. That is very bad. Yes, you've also seen screenshots. Good to know. I don't understand why you're being so rude today, but hey ho, tally ho. Right, 15,500 passing through now. 40 miles to intercept. Sorry, golly. So golly is short for something I'm not going to say. Is that your username almost close to a in the UK a racial slur? So I'm going to try and avoid that. BS galley. Right. So in this point we are very nearly ready to bring it in. Also keep an eye on the air traffic as well, because there's a lot of aircraft flying into Drawyah today. As it stands, it looks like we'll be the only one coming into Sheremetyevo. Again, that can always change depending on the different approach. Yes, so Echo Echo is Sheremetyevo, Whiskey is Drawyah. Oh yeah, I've got a lot of time to fly on Flight Sim. Whenever I'm not working, I'm flying. When I'm doing neither, I'm playing Watch Dogs Legion. It's a good game, Legion. I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far. Being a Londoner, so much I can recognise. I have tried the new Fly-by-Wire. It sounds fantastic. It looks really good too in terms of cockpit systems and functionality. They're doing a great job. Fly-by-Wire doing a fantastic job so far with their A320neo X. About to enter clouds, about to get dark, so we're going to turn up some brightness before I forget. Let's find sorry on the backlights. Backlights, there we go. So integrated that, integrated that, integrated that. I've got a little bit of floodlighting on as well, just for better visibility.
Final descent into
cabin crew, 10 minutes landing, 10 minutes.
Will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you.
Cabin crew, 10 minutes landing, 10 minutes. Landing lights set. Also decrease descent rates to about 1,000 feet per minute. In fact, we'll go down to 500, 400. altimeter sets to 1023. 40 miles to go now. In fact, yeah, increase the center rate slightly. I turn on the anti-icing, because the moment you turn it off, the aircraft just freezes over like crazy. That's the fun of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, we always win, Lucas. We always win. Right, out into the clouds. A little bit of turbulence now. Let's go down to about 230 knots now. Actually, we'll go down to 210. And get ready for the first stage of flaps. So down to 2,000, rate to 1,000. We'll probably reduce actually slightly. 800 feet per minute will do. One. Okay, so 155 approach speed, was it? Yeah, 155 approach, 150 landing speed, so get ready for that. I do plane spotting from time to time. Not super often, but I will do. When like weather's good, I've got nothing else to do, I'll decide to do it. See a little bit of turbulence, a little bit bumpy here. So far so good. Reduce speeds to 180 knots. Landing guidance. So there you go, we're now connected to the localizer and now waiting for just time. It's actually pretty much perfect to the altitude right now. Follow that down further. Airbus elevation is about, I think something like 645? No, about 600 meters. Flaps 2. Right, takeoff very shortly. And now brings us in line with runway 06. Right. flashing over there. That's going to be another aircraft in distance. Almost certainly one of the aircraft approaching Drawyah right now. The sun is just about to hit the horizon now. And ahead of us, no visibility down to 750 feet. Down to 170. Flaps 3. Spoilers armed, brakes set to low, long runways at Moscow, so no issue regarding that. Good news, a download link will be made available on touchdown, now confirmed. Well, presuming nothing goes wrong between here and the 10 miles to the runway, who knows what could go wrong. No, so far, so good. Right, let's reduce speeds to 150 knots. Yes, link will be posted in chat as soon as it comes available. Right, let's do this. The last thing I've got to do is load the landing gear and bring the fourth stage of flaps out. Once you've done that at about 7 miles, we'll then do a pre-land checklist. Bring the aircraft into land. There's the airport now in sight. We're landing right there. Cabin crew, please be seated for landing. Cabin crew, please be seated for landing. Localizer sets, gear down, flaps 4, approach mode sets. So we've got a slight crosswind at the moment, 20 knots. Slight tailwind as well, but shouldn't cause us too many problems. Gear down, 3 green, slat set, brakes set, spoilers set, cabin secure, pre-land checks complete. We have clearance. It's remember to reduce the altitude below 2000, because if it doesn't do that, it just holds altitude there for whatever reason. Right, let's do this. Right, so 1000. We'll deactivate the autopilot, we'll hand fly the rest of the way in.
1000.
Autopilot deactivates, misapproach altitude sets. So far so good. A little bit of glide slope, but small adjustments that we can make. That's about 6 knots now, so much smoother than they were before.
400.
Thank you, Nick Ross, for becoming a subscriber on Twitch. Much appreciated.
200. 100.
We are committed. Look, departure on the left.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Reverse thrust sets. Knots. 60 knots, silo reversers, exit runway when able. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Moscow.
degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned
Clear
off.
systems.
Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins as items may
And
have
lights
shifted during
off,
the flight.
taxi lights
If this is
set,
your final
APU
destination, we thank you
starts.
for flying with us. If you're making a connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure
I believe for international terminal, we will need to cross the run. Nope, that's cargo. Okay, no, that's fine. We'll make a right-hand turn here. Taxi now to stand. If on standard the aircraft, you can now do via that link right there. So, aircraft works. Test is fine. Start to finish. So far, so good. So if you want to download it, there's your link. Enjoy it, guys. Enjoy your Airbus A321. We'll taxi to the gates. We'll have a look at the in-flight reports and then bring things to an end. Quite busy here in Moscow right now. Got the aircraft on the ground. We will enter this stand here. Man, imagine the landing fee of that. How to install, just drag and drop into the community folder. So download the aircraft and drag into the community folder like you would with any aircraft in this sim. Right, park brake sets, taxi lights off, APU available, APU bleed set, engines off, seatbelts off, strobe lights, sorry, beacon lights off, that's all fine. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Moscow. Flight time today was about 2 hours and 55 minutes. We landed about 10 minutes early, which was always good to see. The local temperature outside, 6 degrees centigrade. We hope you enjoyed your flight for Orbit Airlines today, and we hope to see you with us again in the very near future. I wish you a safe onwards journey, either home or to your next destination. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check. There we have it. Final announcements. Ladies and gentlemen, call the jet bridge over, and let's get everything turned around. Aero connection come in.
About 10 minutes early, which was good to see. Local temperature outside is 6 degrees centigrade. We hope you enjoyed your flight for Orbit Airlines today, and we hope to see you again in the very near future. I wish you a safe on the journey, either home, to the next destination. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check.
Top power available. AP comes off. Yeah, close enough for the jet bridge. Close enough. So, yeah, I think that really brings it to an end now. So if you don't have the A321X, then the default A320 cockpit works no problem. The A321, it is compatible with both. Use defaults, use the 2NX, it works no problem. Right, let's go through the end of flight reports. Let's see the passengers' thoughts. So, Orbit 2579, A321 from Heathrow to Moscow, 2.9 flight time. Planned departure was 1800, we passed 1805. Planned arrival 2105, arrival 2056, 174 people on board, no 5 passenger satisfaction, 1 free all touch rate, block time 302. Slightly ahead of schedule, soft landing, depends on the airline, recommend you at work, can be fun leaving the aircraft, and there's our passenger list. So if anybody wants to view the flights, you can do so. This thing there, look at departure, very nice. Yeah, so if anybody wants to look at the flight reports in more detail, then you can do by this link here. Otherwise, that brings us to the end of today's flight. So thank you all very much for watching. Enjoy the A321. It's a lot of fun to put together, a lot of tests, and overall, it's been worth it. It's been worth it. You guys take care of yourselves. Thank you all very much for the support. And I shall see you again in the very near future. Good night and goodbye.